Klaatu! Verata! Oh, God damn it! I hope this wouldn't have happened to me. Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckle Show, where we hopefully do not get joined by an army of the Evil Deadites. But just think this isn't the worst thing that could happen to me. I am already joined by Mr. Knuckles. But the good thing is, today we're going to talk everything about one of the greatest film franchises of all time, the awesome Evil Dead. I love this franchise to bits. And I think you've just seen it for the first time.
I have, and I
Please tell me you love it again.
No.
You love it as well.
I don't know. Second one was alright. Second one was better than the first one. First one dragged on. The starting 45 minutes of like, what's going on, and then whole hell breaks loose. That is when it gets really good. Hell is completely broken loose. Those weird eyes. What's going on with the eyes and those like skull artifacts? Ugh. Yes, it was like, but the second one is cool. It gets straight into it, and this is where they go like from level 1 in the first one to like, okay, let's go completely ballistic. Yeah, and I love it. But second one I like the more, actually.
You have to take into consideration the production background, because Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were actually college friends, and they decided to make the movie together called Within the Woods, which was just a short film that then served as the blueprint for the Evil Dead. They made the short film just to get finances for the full movie, just like James Wan and Lee Whannell did with the Saw franchise.
Wasn't it 32 minutes or something?
Something like this, and they made the film, and this was low budget. So of course, they had to have some filler material. I was always not so fond of the scenes where the people in the cabin interact with each other, because I think Bruce Campbell's awesomeness starts showing in the second one, and then goes full on mental in Army of Darkness. But what I love the most is Evil Dead, for the standards of 1980, is an ultra-violent masterpiece that had
very
amazing special effects. I mean, the white eyes, the white eye lenses, they hurt the actors. They had to be taken out every 15 minutes because the eyes got dry and hurt. They hurt.
Because contact lenses at that time were pretty much non-existent.
It was.
I
think Bruce Campbell once described it as like having an ashtray directly glued into your eye.
God. Was it glass?
I think it even was.
I think it was glass. At that time they had glass. But you see, Evil Dead 3, I think, was not good. I mean,
what?
The giant singing London Bridge is falling down. I'm like, oh, come on.
This is one of the best scenes in the entire film.
What is going on? Second one is a brilliant production. Really, so good. First one, fine, budgetary reasons. Second one, they really nailed it. This was nailed to perfection. I think it could be the best second sequel I have ever watched, even better than Home Alone. I mean, we're comparing Home Alone to Evil Dead now, but yeah, I really think second one is really good. I mean, I still don't get, I think it was in the first one, why somebody would go into the woods in your bathrobe. I mean, it's cold in the woods, even at night.
Yeah.
Why do that? There's like...
And there is woods in the woods, and you can get cuts and everything.
And it's just like, when the headless body's walking around, that was funny. It just looked like a headless chicken, just walking around, going mental. It's just like, okay, what's going on here? But I liked it. I really liked it. The blood scene, blood was flooded through the walls, but it disappeared in the ground. It's like, what's going on here? Always a creepy cellar. Always a creepy cellar. You gotta say it. If you're in Austria, creepy cellars is, an Austrian thing. Maybe he was inspired by Austria. We don't know.
But the thing is, I think you agree with Bruce Campbell at this point. I think he also said that the second one is his most favorite. I would more say that the second one is maybe my least favorite of all the three, because the first one was a full-on hardcore horror movie.
After the first
third
45
one.
minutes.
The third one was a phenomenal slapstick comedy fantasy
I
film.
thought that was the parody. I thought that was the piss take of the second one.
No, they had more like the fantasy element, and you see when you see Bruce Campbell acting, you see his comedic talent, and this is why I love the London Bridge scene so much, because the only thing that is more awesome than Bruce Campbell on screen is 10 Bruce Campbells on screen.
Evil Dead 1, 2 scary movies. Why do you need comedies?
The second one also has a lot of comedic elements, and I even have a personal connection with the second one because Danny Hicks, the guy who plays the lumber, whose wife is getting dragged into the basement, who sadly passed away a few months ago, I met in person and I talked to him. I did interviews with him, and he was a very, very nice guy. I still love Evil Dead 2. I love some factoids, like the possessed Henrietta was actually played by Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's brother, and the problem was that the suit that he was wearing was so hot that he was really sweating so much that in one scene where he's hanging on the ceiling and leaning over, you can see like an ounce of sweat dripping out of the suit, and it was so disgusting for the people who worked with him because it smelled very bad and they had to clean it every day, that I think they made him drink some of it at the end of the shoot.
It's a good thing the camera doesn't have a nose, right?
Yes, but hey, but still, I love the Evil Dead franchise. I love every single one of these movies.
I think we can agree on
for
that.
what they're worth. For just like with The Nightmare on Elm Street, every movie has its own redeeming factor and quality for it. I love the direction. I love Bruce Campbell. These are some of the best horror fantasy comedy
First two
movies
were great.
ever made.
Third one really did not do justice on the first two.
The thing is, which ending did you have for the third one?
Which ending did I
Because
have
there are
for the
two very famous endings. The supermarket ending and the future ending.
Supermarket
ending.
Supermarket ending. Surprises.
Yeah, personally,
I like the second ending more.
My own opinion is that the other ending that they have, where he drank too much of this potion and then ends up basically in Mad Max territory,
this is it. It's
much funnier and much cooler closing
on the
of
second one. I found, what is this ending? A mixture of Mad Max, Lord of the Rings, Muhammad Ali the movie, and it's just like it's completely gone Peter Tong, like boxing, shooting, guns. It was mental.
You know what? Speaking of
Completely
sequels
mental.
and reboots and all of this, it was often discussed what the Evil Dead 2 actually is, because it's kind of a sequel, but it's also a reboot because it sets up scenes from the first one, but does them quite differently. Actually, Bruce Campbell explained why that was.
Well, they couldn't use this.
They couldn't use the scenes from the first one because they sold the rights, so they had to reshoot it in order to recap it, but it's still supposed to be not a reboot, but a sequel, which kind of makes me ask the question, if this happens to you at a cabin in the woods, why would you ever go there again?
And on that note, young sir,
yes,
if that we conclude
what happened in the last 8 minutes happened to you, why would you ever go back to this channel again? Hopefully you do. Next week when we see you guys again in the next episode of the Pork and Knuckle Show, thank you for watching and good night.
Take care.